Good morning, viewers at home. Welcome to the program, SuperDawn. I am Vera Super with you on this edition of the program. Well, we're back from the Workers' Day, and I hope work has started in earnest, and I hope that lots of you are on your way or in your office right now as we speak. Yesterday, Nigeria celebrated the World International Workers' Day, and it was all very colorful. But today we have to just move on, and we want to look at the topic we started with. We talked about a bit on Monday, fostering peace and unity. Nigeria is founded on oneness, love, and tolerance, and we're not mindful of this gospel peaceful coexistence. And today we want to look at it, are we still upholding the principle of unity? Well, so we're going to be looking at fostering peace and unity this morning. And of course, we're also going to go through the papers this morning for you to call and just tell us what you think about the stories in the dailies this morning. Once again, good morning to you. We'll go on this break, and when we come back, we'll start with the newspaper review. Please stay with us.
SuperDawn, your daily live current affairs program where topical issues that border on politics, economy, sport, and sizzling national issues are analyzed, now holds every Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Superscreen television. Let your voice be heard. Join us.
Welcome back. Is the newspaper review segment, and we have the Vanguard this morning. This story says 60 killed in a twin blast at Adamawa Mosque and Market. And the writer says Buhari rejects state police, other recruitment of 60,000 policemen. In Yola, no fewer than 60 persons were found dead yesterday as a twin bomb blast hit a mosque and a nearby market in Mubuyu, Adamawa State. While eyewitness account that said that at least 42 persons were killed, with many others critically injured, and Adamawa State Police Command confirmed 24. 60 kills. This is barbaric. This is wicked. I don't know what to say again. This is not just it this morning. Coming back from away and hearing this from the holiday, one-day holiday, the Workers' Day, and you hear 60 persons. This is terrible. But I'll just read some of the stories. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed reservation on the call for the establishment of state police has been advocated by state governors, saying Nigerians must abide by the constitutional provision on that matter. The president also approved the recruitment of 6,000 policemen to address the insecurity problem in Nigeria. And I hope that the president will talk about this twin blast, the bomb blast. Right now, I don't know. I'm short of words. I thought these guys were retreating, not knowing they are still causing more havoc. This crisis, anyhow, must end. And I think our security agencies should just wake up, brace up to their responsibilities. We cannot keep living, wanting or perceiving to be living together when we have this kind of situation at hand. And that's why we're treating the topic we're treating today. How can we live together? How can we live on that principle of unity? It's very important, because if we don't handle this well, it will get deteriorated. This is this is wickedness to me. And I don't know what you think about it. The phone lines are open. You can call, make your contributions. Lots of Nigerians are condemning this wicked act, I must say. And I'm going to read some of it. And here says from Afenifere, says Nigerians must look beyond Buhari, Afenifere. And Unogu says, speaking on the issue, elder statesman, the former Minister of Steel, that's Paul Unogu, said, I have been a signatory and I have also been a participant in the writing of most of the constitutions of this country. And I was one of those that opposed to the proposal for state police, because we used to think that if we had a state police, state governments would transform themselves into regional power and they would confront the federation that we were trying to build after the war. But now we have run the federation like a democratic constitution with a clear purpose since 1979 because of the constitution for now. But this is wickedness. I don't think it is good. But also reacting, the Director of Media and Publicity, Coalition for Nigerian Movement, the CNM, Mr. Akin, said that he was not surprised by President's disposition on this matter. And he said, to be fair to him, centralization have also been his ideology position, regardless of the pretensions and mockery of commitment to federalism in the manifesto of APC. And this is all make-believe in it. Well, I don't know your take. I'm still waiting for you to react to it. We also have in the papers a picture story of yesterday where we have the Minister for Employment, Chris Ngige, and Productivity. We also have the TUC President, Comrade Boba Bala was there also, and the Vice President, Yemi Osibajo, was there, and also the NLC President, Ayuba Waba, and others during the 2018 May Day celebration in Abuja. Also in the papers this morning, Labour threatens to trade votes for minimum wage in 2019. Remember, we said that yesterday, that Labour has said, because the presidency or this administration has said in the third quarter of this year, they are going to implement the minimum wage. And right now, Labour, they are threatening, if you do not do it, lots of things will happen. Well, we also have here in the Vanguard, federal government bans production of syrup containing codeine. We have, before we move on to the new Telegraph, Buhari Trump's order AGs to draw roadmap for return of $400 million looted funds. Well, there's a caller here. Hello, good morning to you. Good morning to you. Also, we have woman tells court how 7 men raped her inside a gutter. We have here Labour has failed Nigeria, says Governor Wike. And you can also read in the Vanguard, get hold of the Vanguard this morning, BBC honors Nigerians policeman who has never taken bribe. Very commendable. Away from Vanguard, we'll get some stories in the new Telegraph this morning. It says most northern youth undereducated, says Buhari. And the writer says other recruitments of 6,000 policemen from 774 local government areas. Most northern youth uneducated. President Muhammadu Buhari has emphasized that most youth in the northern part of the country were uneducated and school dropouts. The president said these categories of young people can hardly make good living because of their income, that's the minor income they have. Buhari stated this while speaking in an interview with the Hausa service of Voice of America yesterday. Also, the president said that states were incapable of taking up the responsibility of having state police currently. He said he had ordered for 6,000 policemen to be employed. We also have in the papers, suicide bomber killed 60 in Adamawa. Looted funds. Nigeria, US agreed on the return of $500 million. You can read more on that. And we also have what we took in the other papers, suicide bomber killed 60 in Adamawa. Away from that, we'll take the Punch newspaper. The Punch newspaper. And this says, Trump's comment, a wake-up call to Buhari. This came in from Khan, Afenifere, and others. Say Trump's comment, a wake-up call for Buhari. I don't know what your take is. You can call. You can call to tell us what your views are with this. The Christian Association of Nigeria, Civil Rights Group, and the Pan-Yoruba Socio-Political Group Afenifere on Wednesday said the comment of the United States President, Mr. Donald Trump, on the killings in Nigeria was a wake-up call for President Muhammadu Buhari. Trump, before a closed-door meeting with Buhari on Monday, described the killing of Christians in Nigeria as a serious problem. Khan, in its reaction, said Trump hit the nail on its head when he informed President Muhammadu Buhari that Christians were being killed in Nigeria, nothing that the American leader told the Nigerian government the right thing. Okay? Away from that, we have federal government ban importation of codeine-based syrup. The Federal Ministry of Health has directed the National Agency for Food and Drugs Administration and Control to ban with immediate effect further issuance of permits for the importation of codeine as active pharmaceutical ingredients for cough preparation. We know that some people now abuse codeine. They take the cough syrup, and now the federal government is condemning it. And I think it's very important. But without the codeine, will it work better? That's another thing. Okay, we have this one. God will judge Nigerians' past leaders, says Buhari. This is strong. Accuses the past leaders of completing few projects. He said God will judge them. President Muhammadu Buhari has said that the grand corruption that characterized past administration denied Nigeria the opportunities of experiencing infrastructure revolution. He said the grand corruption saw some people make away with millions of dollars on fraudulent oil deals and bogus military contracts. Buhari said this in an opinion he wrote, which was published by the Newsweek on Monday, to coincide with the official visit to Washington, D.C., during which he met with the United States President Donald Trump at the White House. NLC wants 66,500 minimum wage for all workers. Organized labor has said they approved the proposed 66,500 minimum wage should apply to all workers in the country. Speaking at the Workers' Day celebration in Abuja, the president of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Ayuba Waba, said workers would vote out government that failed to pay the new minimum wage. I am saying kudos for once. Let Comrade Ayuba do something about this thing. Let them just make us feel that we have a union, a labor union in Nigeria. I remember the past governor of Edo State, former Comrade Oshomole. He was tough. But let's get his call first. Hello, good morning to you. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. I don't know what is wrong this morning. Hello? Okay, let's go. Let's continue. I spent 26 years in jail for fighting mechanic, ex-prisoner. 26 years? A former inmate of the Kirikiri Maximum Prison, Jide Odunsoya, has asked people to control their temper, saying anger landed him in prison. Thank God he's saying that. We must begin to learn on how to manage your emotions. It can rise at any time, but learn to control your emotions. Very important. We also have here, helpers gang rape teenagers during sanitation in Ogun State. Okay, we'll continue with some of the stories in the Punch this morning, but we'll go on this break. When we come back, we will continue with some of the stories. Let's go on a break. Welcome back, where we'll continue with some of the stories in the Punch. It says, Senate panel presents Buhari's impeachment report today. And the writer says, grill IG on Milaye. The Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris, is expected to appear before the Senate on Wednesday, and that's today. He will be grilled by the lawmakers on the arrest, detention, and hospitalization of Senator Dino Milaye. So they expected him to appear before the Senate today. The appearance will be broadcast live on Nigerian Television Authority, NTA. The upper chamber of the National Assembly had last Wednesday summoned the police boss to brief senators to the next day on Milaye's case and the killing by the armed headsmen and military across the country. So it's expected to be in the House today. Away from the Punch, we just take some of the headlines in the Daily Trust, and it says, no going back on 66,500 minimum wage, NLC and TUC. And the writer says, demand for welfare, not wage increase, expert tells workers. We have in the papers here, bomb blast, kill 27 in Mobile Mosque and Market. Federal government bans production, importation of codeine syrup. We also have here, budget will be passed this week, Senate leader. Finally, from the Daily Trust, track lane fails to begin on Lagos-Ibadan fast rail. Well, get hold of the Daily Trust to read more on that. This is where we come to an end of this segment. We will go on a break now, and when we come back, we want to look at fostering peace and unity in Nigeria. Stay with us. Welcome back. Well, we said before we went on that break that we want to look at fostering peace and unity in Nigeria. Once upon a time, Nigerian people live in peace and harmony amongst themselves, and sentiment was not any form of discourse in this country. But are we going to say that is what is happening in Nigeria, even when yesterday 60 people were killed? Nadamawa, this is not a good news. But how can we uphold that principle of unity in Nigeria? Discussing with us this morning, we have Adetokunbo Mimuni, is a legal practitioner and also an executive director, Social Economic Rights and Accountability Project. Seraph, good morning to you.
It's a pleasure being here.
Yes, good morning.
Thank you.
So we're looking at fostering peace and unity. I know that if you look at history, we've all lived together as one. But what is causing this disagreement? What is causing this barbaric act in Nigeria? What do you think is causing this?
Thank you very much. What I think we should be talking about when we want peace in the geopolitical terrain called Nigeria is that we must be talking about a massive reduction in the level of inequality among various Nigerians. You see, Nigeria that we have today, there is overwhelming, extreme disparity in terms of social, economic, political, and cultural life of Nigerians all over. You see, it will be asking for too much to be asking for peace in an environment where there is massive socio-economic injustices, where in a society where we have the gap between the haves and the have-nots so widened, then it will be difficult to be talking about peace.
Has it not been like that before?
No. You see, it has gone to a terribly alarming proportion now. You see, in the 80s, when I was growing up, there is the middle class. You understand? I cannot lay my hands or attach my faces to the middle class again. The middle class is virtually wiped out. What we now have is a group, a micro proportion of the haves and an overwhelming proportion of the have-nots. And once situations are like that, you see, anger of people that are disadvantaged, that are marginalized, that are terrorized by poverty, would always want to becloud whatever idea we have about unity and peace. Unless you want a piece of the graveyard, that's when you start talking about.
So how did we got to this level? How did we manage to find ourselves where the middle class is being wiped off according to you?
Yes. Let me tell you straight, those that have ruled us within the last 2.5 decades, about 25 years ago, have become so selfish, so self-serving about themselves and the members of their family, immediate family alone, not their extended family. You see, if people hold power and they even think in the least about their extended family, it will percolate down the entire society. That was what was happening in those days where we have middle class. In this day and age, those who rule us think about themselves and their wives and children alone.
I'll come back to you, but we need to open the phone lines. You can call and make your contribution why you think we have gone this bad in living together. What you think are the challenges that is making us not to coexist and not to integrate. What you think is the solution to how we must live together. Yes, you can continue.
Let me remind you, when I was growing up at Isaliko, that's where I come from, Lagos Island. You see, there were no much churches, no much mosque, and we were living in a communal environment. I can count the numbers of churches in Lagos Island on my fingertips. I can count the number of mosques on Lagos Island on my fingertips. And the life was communal. The control was communal. When you exhibit terrible behavior, the whole community comes up against you, and you are more or less left on your own, ostracized of some sort. But these days, that is not it. And you see, a lot of Nigerians, I don't know, they make that funny misconception that Nigerians are religious people. How can you be religious without being godly? I don't see, because to me, religiosity, in terms of being God conscious, must also make you a normal and good human being. But what we have now are religious people, not godly people. That never used to be. So
are you saying that religious and ethnic sentiment is dominating this country and is causing challenges?
No, you see,
what you're saying?
What I see there is we have lost our moral values, and that is the major problem. Again, the way those who rule us have been ruling us has not been encouraging at all. They are now so self-centered. They are now so more conscious of their own pockets and life.
Okay, maybe we should get this caller. Then you explain. You said the way they are ruling us.
Yes.
Maybe you need to explain it. The way you think they are ruling us is not good enough. Yes. Hello. Good morning to you.
Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, my brother.
So what we are saying is true, sir. What we are saying is the reality. Our leaders, they don't want to pay.
Can you just, so we can hear you well?
Why there is this killing everywhere, and they don't want to listen. I don't know who will talk to them before they hear us. People are crying, people are dying, people are carrying guns, shooting here and there, even in the street. If you come and see area boys, they are harassing people, killing innocent ones. They are our leaders, they don't care, they don't want to listen to us. So I don't know what they want to do before they hear us. What they are saying is the reality.
So how can we coexist? How can we live together, my brother?
If they will hear us, if they will hear our complaints and solve our problems, when there is food for every man's table, or every woman's table, so this can I know, they say that a hungry man is a hungry man.
Very well.
So when there is no food in your table, we think what to do next.
Okay, thank you for calling. Okay, you heard what he has said.
Yes.
Is it part of it?
I think that is also spot on. You see, once we say we have leaders who are not ready to listen to and do the biddings of the people, that's what we have. You see, I don't think...
You said past leaders have really done worse than good. So tell us why you just said that.
Now, what I see within the last 25 years is that the rule in Nigeria is about the rule about self-centeredness, the rule without human feelings, the rule of I for myself and for my immediate family alone, not minding what happens to people around me. And it's like we are trying to lose our humanity. You see, the true human nature talks about survival of everybody, although we survive at different levels. You understand? If you are a good worker, you are entitled to pay. If you are a good leader, you are entitled to obedience, undiluted obedience, once you do the biddings of those you lead. But once we have taken that out of the system, then we'll be having problems. It is not about building churches and mosques all over. It's about the pristine human nature of being good. And that is what we have left. That is what we have abandoned.
So how can we begin to look at where we have left or we have abandoned? How can we begin to look at how this country can come again as it used to be? That glory can come back.
Let me tell you this straight away. You see, I don't know what influenced those who ruled us to say, let us remove history from the subject curriculum of Nigerian students. How do you move forward when you don't know your past? I have never had it anywhere in the world. The Chinese will teach Chinese history, the Americans will teach American history, the British will teach British history, the French will teach French history to their upcoming generations. That way, they have a perspective of what things have been in the past. People of sterling characters will be projected to the people coming, as these are people of model. But now, when you remove that from the curriculum of people that are coming up, and that is why the idea now is money, 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 strive for it without even minding where the thing is coming from. And that to me is very, very dangerous. When I was growing up on Lagos Island in the late 70s, early 80s, if a policeman comes to your house...
I think I'll allow you to tell us that story because there's a caller. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello?
Okay. You can continue.
When a policeman comes to visit you, the people of the Saleko community will not want to know whether he came to celebrate with you on the birth of a newborn baby or to rejoice with you on the occasion of the wedding ceremony. They will avoid you for so long first before when they start knowing what he came for. That's when they gravitate towards you. But now, the same Isaleko community, they don't longer care whether you are handcuffed in their presence. They will simply say he will come back immediately. I don't know.
So we lost our morals.
Exactly.
So let's begin to look at morals now, which is very vital.
Yes.
In a society like this, not minding, not putting sentiment in it.
Yes.
But where do we start from when we say morals in the nation?
Now, we have to get back to the idea that the history of a people determines the constitution of a people. Where the people are coming from is a whole lot in itself. And now we must go back, get it returned, that history must be taught in schools, so that role models can be portrayed to the younger generations as when you go this way, this is the way you go. When you go this way, this is the right way. And that we will start getting back to it. We will now gain back our consciousness of godliness. It is not about religion. It's about the idea that
you have a conscience.
Yes, that is what I think we are now losing, and that is why we are getting it entirely wrong. When somebody says he wants to lead, I prefer the First Republic compared to the Second Republic, but compared to this terrible republic.
So this one is really terrible.
Terrible. You see, in the days of Shagari that history says, some people say it is a terrible regime. You cannot even...
Why do you say this one, your expression has shown that this was really terrible?
No.
Why do you say this one is terrible?
The level of greed now is so gargantuan. You understand? When people now do things with impunity, when they don't think it is important that they must be God conscious, human conscious. You see, there is something about humanity that talks about good. It's like those who rule us presently have forgotten about that. And that to me is most unfortunate.
What did you notice that you think they've forgotten presently?
No, let me tell you. How would the senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria take 13.5 million in terms of housekeeping or whatever expenses, and Nigerian worker takes 18,000 naira per month? That to me is most unconscionable. You see, when you say you represent the people, you must always live according to the status in life of the people you represent. You cannot be living in vacuum as if you belong to another world. The people you say you represent belong to another extremely poor world. That to me is
But we had the national conference. This should have been addressed. where we have over 600 delegates during that national conference. Shouldn't this have been part of it? And shouldn't we have begun to look at the national conference and begin to pick out what we think is very necessary?
You see, the problem that I have with the national conference is about the way those who participated in the national conference emerged. They were not elected, get it? They were handpicked. That to me even removes legitimacy from those who say we participated in the national conference. The idea would have been, let us have a law setting up national conference and the modalities for selection. The modality for selection in any civilized world in matters of that nature should be voting for your representative. If they want to go and discuss what concerns you, you should be given the opportunity to vote for those who represent you. And that is the problem that I have with the national conference.
Okay, but we saw where it was said that communities should select people that will represent them.
We were not told how the selection will be made. And
so you faulted the way the selection was made.
What we now have is almost 1/3 of those people became government people, and what came off that conference became what the government wanted. That cannot be a conference of Nigerian people, truly speaking.
So looking at the situation now, we talked about morals, and I'm also looking at starting from the cradle, starting from parenting. Do you think we have also failed in this aspect?
No,
that is what we're seeing in the future right now.
Let me tell you, the person who wants to marginalize you in every respect will first of all marginalize you economically. When you are marginalized economically, you live from hand to mouth, and you don't have the chance to think about other ideal things that will make life essentially whole. You see, the mother and the father of the present Nigerian home will leave very, very early in the morning.
Yes.
He will not come back until much later in the day. What opportunity exists for you to take care of the young ones? In the days when I was growing up, I see my mom and dad very regularly. I see people in the community looking at the environment to take care of children. These days we don't have that type of situation again. Until we get back to the system where Nigerians don't live from hand to mouth, then Nigerians will be able to take care of the young ones, teach them, tell them what is important about life.
But do you think this present administration can lead us? Do you think these are leaders, new politicians, can make a difference? Can they bring us back? Can they take us back to those days where morals were standard?
Good. As recently as 1984, Buhari and Idagbo was taking us to what we can call a sane country, a sane environment.
When you say what we can call, are we not sane? For God's sake, yes, go ahead.
No, they were taking us to a sane level. Something happened in August 1985. We went back to where we were coming from. And it is the problem of August 1985 that we are still...
Tell us about it. Some benefit of the doubt. Some people didn't know what happened.
No.
So, but you need we're looking at history now.
Thank you, good. In January 1984, you know, Shagaria ruled between 1979 and 1983.
Yes.
People were complaining. Buhari and Idagbo came. They said, this discipline was too much.
Indiscipline.
We have to come back to the right path. They started something that I consider very good and very novel. They say we must be organized. We must conduct ourselves and manners in a disciplined manner. We were almost getting there before Babangida came in August 1985. And what Babangida introduced in the Nigerian environment, it was during Babangida that we started having the idea of settlement. Settlement means bribing any person that is bribable. And when the government champions that, then that is the end of the story. So we must start getting things
back to the normal
shape.
But I know that looking at what happened, you talked about the Diagbon and Buhari's regime that time.
Yes.
Where war against indiscipline was key.
Good.
But before we continue, let's get this caller. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, you need to speak up a bit. Good morning to you, yes.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, that's the issue.
I think it's a bit low. We're straining to hear you.
Speak louder, please.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, good.
Okay, all right. In a country that the government can listen to the public, somehow.
I hope you are still there.
It's like we lost him.
I just hope you're still there. Okay, you can keep trying. We need to get it. Yes. So I was telling you about war against discipline again.
Yes.
And now President Buhari is here again. Do you think he can? So why are we not seeing that with his presence now?
Yes. You see, the Nigeria of 1984 is different from the Nigeria of 2015 up to 2018 in two different respects. When we were in 1984, the level of greed and avariciousness is not as bad as this. When in 1984, let's say things have started degenerating, but it had not degenerated completely. So, and again, Buhari is no longer young.
Yes, but when he came, he talked about war against indiscipline. Also, when we talked about corruption, and we saw where people begin to see names of corrupt people.
Good. When if you compare Buhari of 2015 to Buhari of 1984, you will see that take 84 out of 2015, you will be talking about some almost 25 or so years. And you see, the way you live when you are younger
is different.
It's different.
We're still going to get this caller again. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Thank you.
Once again, good morning. Yes.
Okay, you know what? In a country that the president can't listen to the people.
Can you please speak up so we can hear you?
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. In a country that the president or the government can listen to his people, is somehow bad. On a good day, the thing that knows everything, but we civilians will know everything more than we know what is going on. And for him not to listen to us, somehow bad. Okay, see, Adamawa now, thank God that the youth corps they have just left. If they are not left, what can happen to those guys? Now another branch is coming in Adamawa again. We don't know how protest is going to be today. Kwara, they do their own. Anambra, they do their own. This thing is somehow ridiculous. You said, okay, last year or last 2 years, they said they are saying about some people that invest money. We invest all the money that they collect. We haven't seen anything doing with it. And this thing now, somehow is going to another thing. Another election is coming in. We haven't know what is going to come in. And for the president to go to another country, to go to punishing his country's youth image, it's not bad. See, his youth are lazy. Okay, he didn't provide any job for we.
I think you need to, I'm even straining to hear you more, but.
So, we don't know what this new election is going to be now. We haven't know. Let's forget about history. This history, what he tells us that when he comes in, he said he's going to.
Okay, we need to wrap you up. We're just trying to hear what you're saying, really. Okay, thank you for your contribution, but I know where you started. At the point we didn't hear very well. Yeah. But thank you for your contribution. We're talking about the Buhari then, the President Muhammad Buhari now. But I will allow you to continue. We'll go on this break, and when we come back, we will continue with the topic. Let's go on a break.
SuperDawn, your daily live current affairs program where topical issues that border on politics, economy, sport, and sizzling national issues are analyzed. Now holds every Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Superscreen Television. Let your voice be heard. Join us.
Welcome back, Detukumba Mumni. We're discussing, looking at the former president then, Buhari, then looking at our president right now. And it could be, I'm just suspecting, maybe that's why we voted for him, looking at what he has done before. And that's why that massive vote came up. And do you think we're still getting the same thing now?
The truth of the matter is that Nigerians look at his antecedents before voting for him. But Nigerians fail to realize that in 1984, he was a dictator regime. But they ruled more or less by a supreme military commander, being watched by a group of Nigerians known as members of the Supreme Military Council. The maximum they will then be will be about 40, 50. And in the military regime, things are done formally, hierarchically. You don't contest ideas with your superiors. When the superior says this, it goes like that. But presently, it's a democracy. The government is broken down into three parts. The legislature, that the government, the constitution gave the power of law making. It is not Buhari's business to make laws. The executive with the power to execute the laws made by the legislature. The judiciary who intervenes in disputes. So that is the difference between now and then.
But we saw when he came in, we saw that names were called, we saw that corruption, people were even scared of doing something. So are you saying that didn't come into this regime, this system?
You see, once you are in government, Nigerians are very intelligent people. They will look at the body language of the leader to take their cue. When he came in, you remember the statement he made at the Eagle Square? I belong to everybody, I belong to no one.
Yes.
That was early in his regime. October and May 29, 2015. But by the time he starts settling down, you know how long it took him to appoint the ministers.
Yes.
Somebody that had sought for this position about 4 consecutive times. You understand? It shouldn't take you ages to appoint minister. Let's take that for granted. Now, and when issues of probity transparency and accountability started affecting people in his own administration. People wrote petitions against certain people. What we expect the president to have done is to act as promptly as possible. Get those ones out immediately so that things would, and Nigerians will have a feeling that this president has maintained transparency and accountability and he will continue in that way. But people started seeing a different picture.
What are you seeing yourself?
No.
Did you see differently?
Yes, I saw it in the perspective in which Nigeria saw it. That this government is no longer serious as it claims that it wants to fight corruption. When you want to fight corruption, you fight it wholeheartedly. You don't do it by happenstance. When matters of probity and accountability comes up, you handle it as dispatchly as you possibly can. That is the way to go. And that is the way people in your regime will take you serious. That this man will not tolerate this. And let me again say that, you see, this president has nothing going for him except this idea of transparency and accountability. And once he fails on that score, I doubt whether he will be able to succeed.
Well, some people have said he's done well, that we can't, people are careful and they don't want to fall into his trap. And some people have said he's done well in that regard when you talk about fighting corruption.
No, I believe that the situation we have now is different from the situation pre-2015.
Let me hold you on there. There's a caller. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yes, go ahead.
This is a very, very interesting program.
Thank you.
And I want to commend you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You see, Buhari of 1984 and Buhari of 2018 is not going to be the same.
It's not the same.
Yes.
It is a democracy. So we don't expect what we see then to happen this time around. And what I'm trying to say is this. Buhari got there, it wasn't by his own alone. A lot of people got behind him before he got to that position. So what that is the president. But whatever that he's going to do, people that put him there must be aware. Some are not even allow him to do exactly what he wanted to do. Yes, that is the true picture of it. And I'm talking about peace and unity now. If we can be able to take away religion, tribal and whatever, I bet you, peace will return to this country.
So what do you think we should, give us example on the decision we can take right now?
Okay, if I'm an Igbo man, and they recognize the Yoruba man as a Nigerian, I recognize the Hausa man as a Nigerian, all the languages we take them as a Nigerian. We don't put Igbo man this side, Yoruba man this side, Hausa man this side. If we continue to share it like that, it will be a very, very difficult for us to achieve it. Let us see ourselves as one Nigeria. I bet you peace will reign in this country.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for calling. Who will now do that, putting us together? What portfolio? Who are we going to give that portfolio to, putting us together?
You see, that is principally the work of those who lead us. They must do things and act in a manner to keep us together. When, for instance, certain things happen within the socio-political context of Nigeria, and the people that are supposed to act are not acting as we expect, we start having doubts whether this man is not pandering to the wishes of his clan or his ethnic group. You understand?
Are we seeing that right now?
No.
As at yesterday,
yes.
62 people were killed, in the mosques and also in the markets.
And
so
you see,
how are we going to stop all of these things, and so that we can just settle everybody? I don't know how to put it.
let me tell you.
I will allow you to say that because that's very important.
Yes, let me tell you.
But there's a caller here. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Go ahead.
No, what this man is saying is true. When the president says it belongs to everybody, or it belongs to nobody, that is what the Nigerians expecting to do. Because when you want to appoint from our commissioner, it's taking time. Which everybody believes that fine, this is a serious government. Because I came here with the Nigeria policy. So we are going to figure bad ones out. I think the good one. Okay, let's see Saraki. We thought at the catch Saraki. Everybody thought he was going to install Saraki house. And with other commissioners and overhead officers. But then people are saying that there are some people that is holding, there are some people that is attempting to do the government. No, it's a president. He's in charge. Everything that he says is final. So we don't expect anybody to be made to be ruling.
But we must live together in all of these things. How can we coexist?
It's really good. Because we have to know how the thing is going to be now. For instance, go the second time, only God can help him out on that.
Okay, thank you so much. I don't know if you got what he was saying again. I don't know.
No,
something is just wrong with the line.
Yes.
Distorting. Thank you so much for calling. Yes, go ahead.
So
we're looking at this administration right now, trying to make sure that we coexist. Because we must live together anyway.
Yes.
So what can they do? What can we also, our own role is?
No, what I think must happen first is that the people at the ends of affairs must show leadership.
Are they not showing it right now?
No, but you see,
because that's where we want to go to.
Thank you.
They're not showing it right now.
So when we say you must show leadership, people must believe that you are showing leadership. It's not about saying we are showing it and people see things in a different perspective. When Buhari came in 1984, people believe he was honest, he was firm, you understand? And they were following that method. But now what I think is happening now is that a lot of Nigerians don't feel the same way now. So
what are the things that we are seeing,
yes,
or Nigerians are seeing, that they're making them feel not comfortable with what is happening?
Exactly.
What are those things? Can you tell us some of those things?
For example, we have the issue of herdsmen farmers conflicts.
Yes.
We have not seen the president act with the same dispatch, the same fundamental seriousness with which he acted when he was dealing with IPOB.
Because 3 days ago he said that this act is satanic.
No, it's not by mere words. You see, as the commander-in-chief, you must make statements and back it with action. You won't go to the war field directly. You assign people that are constitutionally commissioned to do it. And once people see that you take that step, they will believe in you. And you see, that is what I want to appeal to this president about. People believe that he's a fair-minded person. People believe that he's an honest person. And once things start happening that does not show fair-mindedness, that does not show honesty, then people will start having different opinions. And that is what he must be careful about, so that he doesn't lose the respect and the prestige that Nigerians associate.
So away from the president also, we have senators, yes, we have politicians, we have local government administrations. Yes. What do you think they need to do also, trying to bring us together?
You see, I would think it will be expecting too much from a citizen who is living from hand to mouth to now say, I agree with a senator who took 13.5 million. Each person took 13.5 million naira, illegal fund, more or less now, because it has been declared so by the raw Salaries and Wages Commission.
The commission has declared that that's illegal, but so, they are still receiving it anyway.
No, you see, and that is the next thing that NGOs and other similar bodies should try and tackle now. Maybe we'll come together and file a court action that this illegality cannot continue. You cannot say you are representing us and you live far and above our means. It's like saying you employed a guard or a security man who will be earning more than the salaries of his organs. That to me is unquestionable. You see, apart from the fact that that is immoral and unjust, it is also not sustainable. It is also not sustainable. So that is the way I see it. And that is the way, and from the perspective, a lot of Nigerians are seeing it.
Okay, so that's the way you think we should begin to look at it first.
Yes.
Face the illegality of this, especially coming from the commission saying that this
13.5 million naira is illegal.
But what was all our role to our children? Because you see some people, the way they act, you just know that it's from where they are coming in from. Their foundation is faulty. So how do we start from the home also? You
see, like I said, anybody that wants to marginalize you politically was of marginalize you economically. Nigerians now live from hand to mouth. They go about trying to survive. A lot of Nigerians now they are just surviving. They are not really living the life that a country with oil resources, a country with so many natural resources should be living.
But this administration had always said repeatedly that the former administration had granted the pause of this nation.
Thank you. Problems are meant to exist. Problems are meant to be solved. We cannot continue to condone this government on the basis of saying what we are facing was created by the past regime. 3 years to me is enough to start getting things right. It will be defeatist to now be talking about a government that you have replaced 3 years ago.
But that's what they say, we should be patient.
No,
it's going to take time.
No. I agree. It takes considerable time to remedy things. But
are you not seeing a move at all?
No, I see a move. I say what Nigerians are experiencing now is better to me than what they have experienced pre-2015. I say that. It may not be the position of my organization. That is my own personal view. But what we are saying is that this tardiness, this lethargy must stop somewhere so that we can move forward sincerely and committedly.
So if we don't look at it that way, we might still be in this.
Yes.
You're saying that this might continue.
Yes.
The other caller that called talked about the economy, that if you are hungry,
yes,
it might lead to you fighting and disagreeing. How do we stop that end also?
You see, the Nigerian Constitution talks about...
Will it be that hunger is making Fulani herdsmen do what they do?
No.
Is that the reason why people will begin to kill?
No. The Nigerian Constitution creates two sets of rights, civil and political rights, contained in Chapter 4. It says those ones are justiciable. It says when you violate that, people can go to court and ask for remedy. It now creates rights to me that are so more fundamental. The rights of bread and butter, food. It now says those ones are not justiciable, that you cannot go to court when that is violated. I don't see any reason in saying I have a right to talk, freedom of speech, when I don't have a right to feed. To me, they contradict.
So this contradiction there.
So what we continue to insist in our organization is that socioeconomic rights must also be made justiciable. That way, when they are violated, we have access to court and we sort it out. And that is what we have consistently advocated, that we should make all rights, socioeconomic rights, civil and political rights, commonly justiciable, so that Nigerians will start having a feeling that this government cares about them.
So how do we go about it?
No, you see, a lot of talk is going on about the amendment of this constitution, but not so much has been said regarding these two sets of rights. Welfare of Nigerians should be so important. And as a matter of fact, the constitution says the primary responsibility of government is the security and welfare of the people. So the constitution said that And what are these rulers doing about the welfare of Nigerian people?
That's a question.
That to me must be important if they want the citizens to believe in them and if they want the citizens to live in peace. Because I say, when you talk about peace without justice, you are simply asking for the peace of the graveyard.
So you think that we should begin to look at the welfare of the people?
Very, very important.
Very important.
Very, very important.
Finally, from you, what word do you have for this administration? What word do you have for the citizenry? Because even at this, we should begin to learn how we can at least live amongst ourselves.
Good. For this administration, I say they should make haste fast so that they will take sincere and positive steps to influence the life, socio-economic life of Nigerians. For the citizens, I say let's return to the days when we were godly. We should abandon religion. We should we should feel for human beings. We should be our brother's keepers. And that is the whole essence of humanity.
Well, religion is not bad at all.
No, you see that is the problem.
Is it bad?
No, I'm not. You see,
we have turned it to be bad.
No, you see, when you say you are religious, it must have a positive impact on your life towards not individual, towards a fellow human being like yourself.
You have conscience. Feel it.
It is not about religion, Christianity, or Islam. It's about your disposition towards another human being.
It must be a way of life.
Yes.
A way of life.
It is not about Islam or Christianity. God consciousness is a way of life. We are not seeing that in the life of Nigerians.
Okay. I want to thank Adetokunbo Mumuni, legal practitioner and also executive director of social economic rights and accountability project, Saraf. Thank you for coming on the program.
It's a pleasure being here.
We must all come together. We must live together.
Yes.
It's very important. Thank you so much for coming.
It's a pleasure.
Up next is SuperDawn Sports. We'll be right back.
SuperDawn, your daily live current affairs